Okay, let's move on to topic 2, which is Red Velvet's RBB album review. So since Jacob's not here, he gave us his scores, but he didn't give us his notes on the songs. So it's just me and Andrew.
Yeah.
But we'll throw a score in at the end. And we're starting off with RBB, which is Really Bad Boy, the title track for this Red Velvet release. So my initial impressions of the song is I really like the instrumentals, the verses, the bridge, the choreo, and the music video. But the chorus is like it passes into that too repetitive territory for me, and it's also like pretty empty. And so like it didn't really. I think it bothered me a little bit. I think the main problem was they made a mistake calling it Really Bad Boy.
You think?
I think they set, at least for me, this is all my personal take, but hearing that it was going to be a sequel to Bad Boy, I expected it to be similar to Bad Boy, and I expected it to be like as good as Bad Boy, and I don't think it delivered on either of those at all. So I think they just set my expectations way too high. Where if it was a different name, I wouldn't have had those expectations, and I probably would have liked the song more. That being said, it has grown on me, and like I said, I like almost everything about the song. The chorus just bugs me a little bit, but it has grown on me a little bit as well.
I didn't even know that they were actually really official about this is the sequel to Bad Boy and everything.
I don't know if it is, but I mean, it's literally the song after Bad Boy, and it's called Really Bad Boy. So like, you're setting expectations there with that name.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I didn't necessarily. I think even regardless of the title, I probably would have sort of had my gripes with it. Honestly, it's a song. Again, I think we have really high expectations for Red Velvet because I'd say just as a consensus that they're probably our favorite girl group, just in terms of consistency and just how much we like their releases on the most part. There are parts of the song that are great, like really good. Again, it showcases their vocal talent, the level of production that they're able to attract and everything. But I think the cardinal sin of this song in particular is just there's parts of it that are great, but it doesn't come together as a song. Like there's parts of it I enjoy, but I don't enjoy listening to the song in its entirety because I think there's just some parts where it's so messy. Like they're like, okay, we gotta showcase Red Velvet's great at singing and like do all this vocalization and all this harmonies, except they're trying to do it all at the same time. So it's just like yeah. It's just like all at the same time. So it's very hard to focus in on one thing when there's just like a bunch of stuff going on in the instrumental, a bunch of like 5 different like vocalization craziness going on. That being said, like some of that's crazy. Like I think like Irene's the one hitting like those like almost like out of like human hearing range high notes or whatever, but
the screams,
it was just crazy.
Yeah, Irene did the screams.
Yeah, but again, it just kind of feel like this is supposed to be a song, not just like a vocal showcase or just like a range sort of thing. It's supposed to come together cohesively, otherwise it doesn't work as a song. And I'd say or to sum it up, it just kind of sounds like a more hastily half-assed version of Dum Dum. If you really think about it, like it's trying to go for the same vibe as Dum Dum, which kind of makes no sense considering they're trying to make it a sequel to Bad Boy. Like if anything, it's more akin to Dum Dum than it is to Bad Boy, but it just kind of sounds like they were trying to go for that, but they really just like the instrumentals are everywhere. As for the actual like music video, I mean it's all right. I mean I like the outfits and everything, but I think it just retreads too much of the territory that they covered with Peekaboo, just like stylistically. Like they're just trying to go for this creepy Red Velvet sort of thing, which kind of makes no sense because they released it at like the end of November, early December. So I don't know. It just seems really uninspired to me, honestly. I feel like they can do better. Like just visually or just like in terms of concept wise with the music video and everything. Apparently like we've been talking about this to our Discord members, and a lot of them they like it better as a live stage as opposed to just seeing the music video or just listening to the song. So I mean, I'd say maybe a bit better. At least you get to see more of the choreography. But even the choreography didn't blow me away necessarily. Yeah, just I don't know. I like I'm very like very rarely am I disappointed with Red Velvet songs, but yeah, I don't know. I was just kind of disappointed with this.
See, I wasn't disappointed. I liked almost all of it, but chorus just wasn't what I was hoping for.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Jacob liked it a lot more than either of us.
Oh,
so,
he's saying like, oh, it's better than, I don't know. I forget. He really liked it. Definitely. I could tell, but yep.
Next we have Butterflies. And I thought this was cool. It was like a funkier version of a Velvet track. I really like the synths and the voice effects that they added. Like I thought it changed it up on top of like it just being a normal R&B Velvet style vocals. Also, the bridge is fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the bridge is. No, actually, no. The bridge isn't the best part of the song, just because I love the chorus so much, like the harmonization that they do with that. But yeah it's funny because I really hate "Really Bad Boy," but literally every other song on this album was almost perfect for me. It's just a weird like dichotomy in that sort of way. But I love synth pop. I love Red Velvet synth pop in particular. So yeah, this is well executed. Definitely one of my favorites, possibly.
Mm-hmm. Next we have So Good, and this is their more traditional Velvet R&B song. The thing that stood out to me was like the really low bass synth that's like backing their vocals. I thought that worked out really well for this song. But yeah, it's a Velvet track, like you know what you're getting.
Produced by London Noise, which I didn't expect or I didn't necessarily realize when I first listened to this. So again, I've talked about how London Noise is very good at being like a chameleon in terms of they do a good job of tailoring their production style for each different group. Like London Noise doing music for Red Velvet isn't going to be the same as London Noise doing music for Amber or for NCT 127 or something like that. So that's a good job on their part. They do a very good job of fitting that Red Velvet R&B style, which I love. So again, this is another like home run for me, honestly. Just I feel like again, I know Really Bad Boy was hitting these crazy high notes and like all this like insane stuff, but I felt like with both Butterflies and So Good, I could appreciate more of the vocals or the vocal range that Red Velvet has, just because it made sense in terms of the context of the song, whereas Really Bad Boy, it's just all over the place and just too distracting, if anything, whereas this it serves to enhance the instrumental in the song, whereas it just felt like the vocals were fighting too much with the instrumental in Really Bad Boy.
Yeah. Next is Sassy Me, and it has vocal fry. It has a lot of vocal fry, and I loved it. I don't know. It's like a traditional Red track, like album track, in terms of the chorus, but then the verses, are just this crazy like vocal fry, like literally sassy, like vocals going on.
You understand it definitely.
Yeah, exactly. And then also there's sexy sax throughout the song. This is easily my favorite song.
Oh, not only is it my favorite song on the entire like mini. This should be the single. This should easily be the single.
Easily.
Like, I don't know why.
This would have been a great sequel to Bad Boy.
Why are they hiding this in the? That's a shame. Like, there's gonna be so many people that never hear this amazing song.
Yep.
And no, you know what makes me more excited? We might get to hear this song live.
Oh God, I hope we hear Sassy.
Like, just imagine how incredible the choreography to this will be and everything. Oh. Like, this is what I think of when I think Red Velvet. I mean, granted, okay, I hate vocal fry. I don't know if I hate vocal fry. It really gets annoying. It's an acquired taste, definitely. I know that you're all over it, but it doesn't ruin the song for me necessarily, just because that chorus is incredible. And again, how much I feel like it harkens back to straight of the stuff that they were doing with the Red and that particular album. I'm just baffled as to why this wasn't the single, if anything, because again, it probably would have fit way better. And just Sassy Me would have, again, I felt like it would have made a more interesting concept, a more interesting single, more interesting choreography than what we got with Really Bad Boy. Just, this saved the album for me, essentially. Like, Sassy Me is easily, like, it definitely saved it for Cooper. He changed his Facebook name. He changed his name to Sassy Me again, as he always does. But yeah, this is probably one of the best. Like, it's probably one of the best Red Velvet songs of the year. Honestly, just I'd put this up there with Bad Boy, just in terms of how much I really enjoyed this. And it's just a shame that there's just so much wasted potential by not making this a single. Honestly,
I agree. Next we have Taste, and this has like such an awesome synth bass line. There's a ton of vocal stuff going on in the song, and I loved all of it. There's like a lot of back and forth, the harmonies, like the random ad libs, their effects on their voices. Like, I thought this came together really, really well.
Not just random ad libs, Wendy English ad libs, which are the best Red Velvet ad libs. This was produced by Penomeco and Dem Joints. So yeah, Penomeco is one of the artists. I forget what he's not under SM specifically. He's under one of the other sub labels, but it's awesome to see him. I think he did some stuff on the EXO album as well. So it's cool to see him doing a production for SM's proper label. And Dem Joints has done Something New by Taeyeon. He did 2 songs off of Anderson .Paak's Oxnard album, which is awesome. He's just like working all over the place. And he also did Cherry Bomb. So you could definitely feel the same sort of like, it's a funk inspired R&B type of track, which again works well with like Taeyeon, works well with definitely with Anderson .Paak. Just like his stuff is definitely just that same vibe. Definitely works with Red Velvet. So in that sort of way, I definitely could feel the influence of the producers on this, which is really cool. And now it just kind of makes me wish that, because again, Penomeco is associated with like Dean and Zico, and like I think he's a part of Fancy Child as well. It just makes me imagine Zico doing either collaboration with Red Velvet or producing a Red Velvet track. Just how amazing would the concept of that be? Honestly,
yeah.
So yeah, this is just a great, just actual or closing track to it. Again, maybe it's just because we're more biased towards the R&B side, or I'd say in particular on my end, I'm more biased towards the Velvet side of Red Velvet as opposed to the Red. I mean, as much as I loved Sassy Me, obviously, I still like their R&B style tracks, but.
See, I'm the opposite. I love
you love the red stuff more than the Velvet.
So much more.
I don't know, just because one of these nights was one of my favorites. So
well, yeah, like their Velvet tracks are insane, but I just prefer bubbly, upbeat pop to R&B for the most part.
So yeah, I mean, this stuff is just always up my alley. So that's why it's probably like this. Probably breaks the least ground in comparison to like Butterflies and So Good, but it's still a really solid track.
Yeah. And then there's also an English Velvet of RBB that we forgot to mention. But for me, it felt like the lyrics didn't fit nearly as well as Bad Boy. It just didn't work as well for me, in my opinion.
Yeah, it seems more ham-fisted. I mean, granted, the only highlight of this is Seulgi says having such a good ass time. Like, I think she's been hanging out with Mark too much. Yeah, she's been hanging out with Mark way too much. Maybe I should look. Yep. I should look into the production credits. Maybe Mark wrote these lyrics. Yeah, but other than that, I don't have much to say on it. I mean, it doesn't make the song any better, honestly. Yeah, that'd be the only way it'd be notable. But they're probably gonna do this. They're probably gonna perform the English version of Bad Boy and the English version of Really Bad Boy for their Red Mary in the U.S. tour. So I guess we better get used to it. So yeah.
I mean, they might do both. They probably do both.
They have more than enough songs at this point that they don't have to do both. They don't need to. They have an extensive catalog at this point, so it would be kind of a waste. But I mean, at least we'll get to hear the English version of Bad Boy again, and we'll just have to tolerate the English version of Really Bad Boy. We won't get one without the other.
Yep. Okay, let's go to our scores. Jacob gave it a 10 out of 10. And me, like, despite the gripes I have with RBB, I also gave it a 10. I think every other song on this album is immaculate. And RBB I still liked a lot. It was just the chorus I had problems with. I loved the music video and the choreo. Like, I thought it was all great. So I gave it a 10 as well.
Okay. Well, I mean, you guys aren't going to ruin... I'm not going to ruin the score by giving it an 8. It's kind of pointless at this point. But, yeah, again, despite my gripes with RBB, I still thought the rest of the album was okay. That's probably what saved it from being like a 7 out of 10 or just getting a 4 out of 6 for the music score. Concept, again, 2 out of 3. It wasn't abhorrent, but it didn't really break ground or anything. That's the thing I love about Red Velvet, is that they're always pushing their music in new directions, and I feel like I wanted more out of that, especially in terms of Really Bad Boy just being just safe in terms of choice of single. So, yeah, that's why I didn't give it a perfect concept score. I'm obviously going to give them a bias point because I love this group, but... Yeah, I 8 out of 10, and that's me being a bit lenient, in all honesty, I guess. I could be more harsh on just how much I did not like, or just how much I got tired of Really Bad Boy. I don't know. We'll see where they go from here, honestly. I just hope that they I hope that they don't fall into the let's remake Bad Boy, because that was a good song sort of phase. I mean, I wouldn't even mind if they made like another... just like anything like crazy, or just like even another cool. Just another another power up, another just like rookie, like something that's maybe sort of like change it up, because it definitely feels like they're maybe building, as much as I like their R&B, they might be building too much of an over reliance on that to sort of I guess push the group. But I like to see them like, again, I love my SM groups experimental, so I want to see them get pushed in a new direction, especially for 2019. So 10, 8 makes it an average of a 10 still. Right? Or no?
No, it makes it a 9.
9. Okay, well, it doesn't matter. It's still good. It'll still get a shiny.
It still gets a shiny, yeah. Yep.
The song is definitely very different for an EXID song, but the thing I really hate is that they just do the standard Shinsangdong Tiger, EXID, literally the same type of melody that they've done in every single song
for the chorus, yeah.
Yeah, for the chorus. They literally...
Hidden Seulgi